Henry Craig, HenryCraig.
Yes, sir. And your title?
Chairman, Baldwin County Commission.
Yes, sir. So, first question: what prompted you all to declare a state of emergency today in the county?
That we now have 2 cases of coronavirus COVID-D in Baldwin County. It's passed person to person, and the county must do everything it can to discourage people from passing the virus from person to person. And therefore, we've asked our community to shelter in place and to have person-to-person contact as little as possible, realizing that you can't completely shelter in place. So we're asking everybody to be at least 6 feet apart and to do everything they can to remain in good sanitary condition and washing your hands and using hand sanitizers when appropriate.
Yes, sir. And you spoke about it a little bit, but what does this declaration mean for the people in Baldwin County? Because Lawrence, the city of Warner Robins, they have one, but each locality is a little different. What does this one mean?
To our community, number one, it is a declaration, a proclamation to our community that we have a crisis. 2, that it allows access, greater access to our community for GEMA and FEMA resources. 3, it allows us to ask our community between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. to reduce their travel. And we have exemptions for utilities and public safety and fire and hospital and pharmacy and all those that do need unrestricted access. And at the same time, everybody needs to remember that our deputies for the sheriff's office and our policemen for the city police, that they're your neighbors, and all they're doing is trying to emphasize that everybody needs to shelter in place as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. And as far as restaurants and businesses and stuff like that, are they still open for to go, or how's that operating now?
We have asked our restaurants to limit access to 10 people at a time, and that's the beginning of a process for the city and the county to review what our restaurant procedures should be. Obviously we're concerned about spreading the coronavirus COVID-D in our restaurants, but at this time, all we're asking is voluntary compliance.
Yes, sir. And I know you all have the curfew, and I heard you say shelter in place. So, is this something where you want the people in the county to honestly just stay inside their homes if they have no reason being out in the streets?
Yes, that COVID-D is passed person to person,
Mm-hmm.
and if there is no passing from person to person, then there is no continued increase in those that are sick with COVID-D. And more than anything else, as a community, we must ensure that our hospital is not overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you do that is to keep the cases down to a manageable level. I have been in contact with Navicent Baldwin. We have adequate resources. We have adequate personnel. We have an adequate plan, but we can't overwhelm their resources.
Mm-hmm. So it definitely sounds like, you all are being proactive and really just trying to get ahead of everything right now before it becomes something too big that's unmanageable.
That's right. That's the name of the game in every community,
Mm-hmm.
and that the communities must manage the crisis into a situation that is manageable and doesn't overwhelm the resources that the community can survive.
Yes, sir. And do you know if there's a timeline for this? Is it 2 or 3 weeks, or how you all playing it?
We did not put an end date, and I don't think anybody knows the end date. That there's an expectation that every county in the state will eventually go through this, and it's all a matter of managing within your community to ensure the resources are not overwhelmed.
Yes, sir. And on the last question, is there anything that you would like to add that you want the people at home to know?
I would like the people at home to know without question that this COVID-19 is extremely contagious and that it can make people very sick. And the only way to reduce this, to stop this, is to stop transmitting it from person to person.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.